Greetings, subscribers. Covered bridges. They're old, they're beautiful, and they're becoming increasingly rare. For many of us who see them, we can't help but be reminded of the Walt Disney version of the Washington Irving tale, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The animation is excellent, and no matter what age you are, there's a good chance you grew up watching it every Halloween. It was released in 1949 and still holds up well with time. Anyway, some people might ask questions like, where was that bridge that Ichabod Crane crossed to escape the Headless Horseman? Is it still there? Well, first off, let me clarify one thing for anyone who doesn't already know. Sleepy Hollow is indeed a real town. It's in Westchester County, New York, alongside the Hudson River, and it's a surprisingly short drive north of New York City. Anyway, when you visit the town today, on Route 9, right by the old Dutch church and entrance to Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, you'll see the sign which reads, "The Headless Horseman Bridge described by Irving in the Legend of Sleepy Hollow formerly spanned this stream at this spot." I think those words are pretty clear. The bridge was once there, but no longer is today. So I asked some local residents, semi-historians, if they had any artwork of the original bridge. And they showed me this. Wasn't it a covered bridge, I asked? No, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the Disney cartoon created that idea. It was never a covered bridge. Really? Were covered bridges even common in this area? No, not really, she answered. I was surprised because it wasn't just the Disney animation that showed a covered bridge. There were multiple other versions that did as well. But I guess those filmmakers all got the idea from the Disney animation. We need to step back and remind ourselves, Walt Disney adaptations are not always accurate. For example, I love Disney's animation Pinocchio, but anyone who's read the book by Carlo Collodi, or even seen another version that follows the book more closely, knows just how much Disney changed the story. In the book, there was no Jiminy Cricket. There was only a talking cricket, known as Il Grido Parlante, but Pinocchio killed him very soon after he first met him. Though the cricket did later come back. And Pinocchio had some serious difficulties recognizing right from wrong morals, which Disney just did not include in their version for the most part. So while Disney has made some terrific adaptations of fairy tales, we should just keep in mind that they're not always completely accurate to source material. But despite having no connection to Sleepy Hollow, I still like seeing covered bridges, so what can I tell you about them? Well, I'll start with answering one basic question. Why were they first built? It's widely rumored that in the days when everyone traveled by horse, regular bridges scared horses, so covered bridges were built to make the horses believe they were in barns as they passed through. However, this rumor is false. Horses were not scared of bridges. The covering of these bridges was simply done to make them last longer, make them more durable to rain, snow, and other weather conditions. If you're in the USA, you can look on Wikipedia to find covered bridges in your state, precisely where they are, etc. For example, the state of New Jersey only has 2, while the next state over, Pennsylvania, has the most in the country, 227. However, Vermont, being a smaller landmass, is most densely populated with covered bridges. I personally have not been to Vermont in years, but I know that the movie Beetlejuice was filmed there, and it included a covered bridge. To make this video, I took a drive to the Northampton County area of Pennsylvania, where there's several covered bridges. However, I have one story from a different day that I'd like to share with you. I took quite a long drive to get some shots of Green Sergeant's Bridge in New Jersey, but when I finally arrived, I saw the bridge was under renovations and temporarily covered with tarps. I couldn't get any of the shots I wanted. This is something I had no way of knowing in advance by searching online how many covered bridges are in Jersey. So, if you're considering taking a long drive to see a covered bridge in your state, please consider that this is always a slim possibility. When I was at Manassas Covered Bridge in South Whitehall Township, Lehigh County, Pennsylvania, I wanted to create a live-action shot reminiscent of what people saw in the Disney Sleepy Hollow animation. At first I just put a pumpkin in the water, but then I looked through my camera and realized that wasn't enough. The pumpkin had to be shattered. So I threw the pumpkin on a rock and it did split, but the shattered pieces didn't naturally display themselves as I would have liked. So I stepped down and moved the pieces around myself. There you go. Look at that. I like that image. What do you think? Alright, listen. In theory, I could go on forever talking about covered bridges. So I'm going to stop for today, but as always, I'd like to hear some feedback from you viewers. Did you find this information to be interesting? Or has it disappointed you to learn there never was a covered bridge in Sleepy Hollow? Or has this inspired you to visit a covered bridge in your state? Please leave it all in the comments below. Please hit like. And if you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of my videos, then please feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. I would love to have you. Thank you.